Alright, let's dive into the story of the young Frenchman who would soon become one of America's most beloved heroes and a symbol of transatlantic solidarity. Here's the tale of Marquis de Lafayette's appointment as Major General in the Continental Army. Imagine you're in the heart of 1777, an era of war and revolution where every day holds a new test of resilience for the budding American colonies. In this landscape of uncertainty and strife, a new, unexpected champion arrives, a figure with immense wealth and noble lineage, yet with a fire in his heart to fight for freedom. Enter the Marquis de Lafayette, a 19-year-old French aristocrat who would defy both his nation's expectations and his own safety to fight alongside the Americans. But it wasn't as simple as packing his bags and setting sail for America. In France, joining a foreign war without permission was not only illegal, but dangerous. The king himself had forbidden French soldiers from getting involved, not wanting to provoke Britain. Yet, Lafayette was no ordinary man. Determined to support the American cause, he secretly purchased a ship, the La Victoire, and embarked on a treacherous voyage, risking his reputation, his family's disapproval, and even his life. When Lafayette finally reached American shores, he was not met with the grand welcome he might have anticipated. The Continental Congress, initially skeptical of European aristocrats and uncertain about his abilities, hesitated to give him a command. But Lafayette was persistent. He offered to serve without pay, showing that he wasn't here for glory or fortune. He was here out of genuine commitment to the American cause. George Washington, the revered commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, eventually met the young Marquis. Despite his initial reservations, Washington was quickly impressed. Here was a man who radiated enthusiasm, spoke passionately about liberty, and respected the values of the Revolution. Lafayette's genuine respect and admiration for Washington won him a rare place in the general's heart. He became not only a trusted officer, but almost like an adopted son. On July 31, 1777, Lafayette was officially appointed as a Major General in the Continental Army. It was a gamble. A young, untested officer was being given significant responsibility. But this appointment was about more than just military leadership. It was a symbolic gesture that showed America's openness to foreign allies and marked the beginning of a strong Franco-American bond. Lafayette's first true test came at the Battle of Brandywine on September 11, 1777. The Continental Army was outmatched by the British forces and things quickly took a grim turn. Lafayette, though still new to the chaos of war, led his men with fierce bravery, rallying them even as the tide turned against them. In the thick of battle, he sustained a bullet wound to his leg, but refused to retreat, urging his men to hold their ground. This display of courage and resilience was exactly what the Americans needed. His actions at Brandywine didn't just win him the respect of his comrades, they solidified his role as a true leader in the army. He proved that he was more than just a nobleman with lofty ideals. He was a warrior willing to shed blood for freedom. Lafayette's involvement had far-reaching implications beyond the battlefield. His presence in the American fight was a powerful signal to France, and it played a significant role in convincing the French government to support the Americans. Lafayette's letters back to France recounted the bravery of American soldiers, the dire need for aid, and his own experiences fighting for liberty. His efforts ultimately paved the way for French support, leading to a formal alliance in 1778. The Franco-American alliance was crucial for the Revolution. With French military and financial aid, the Continental Army gained strength and resilience, allowing them to stand against the might of the British forces. Lafayette's commitment had brought not only manpower but also morale to the American side. As the Revolution wore on, Lafayette continued to play an invaluable role. He became a key strategist and a close advisor to Washington, participating in major campaigns, rallying troops, and using his influence to secure resources. His unwavering dedication to the cause, even at the cost of personal sacrifice, turned him into a legend. Lafayette's legacy became synonymous with courage, unity, and the ideal of fighting for something greater than oneself. When the war finally ended, Lafayette returned to France as a hero not just of one nation but of two. His bond with Washington remained, and the two continued to correspond, sharing a lifelong friendship. Years later, during the French Revolution, Lafayette would once again rise to fight for liberty, inspired by the same principles that had driven him to American shores.